Welcome to another Natural Phonics Primer, a universal safety net for literacy. Exercise 24. This is a new adventure. We're now moving on to stage 2. I want to congratulate you on finishing stage 1, which is liftoff. Now you studied all the short vowels and how to spell them, how to write them. Now we're going to be looking, and you've read quite a few sentences. Now we're going to stage 2 called Earth Orbit. Stage 3 is called Moon Landing. Earth Orbit, or the intermediate or Earth Orbit stage, is very important because now we're going to introduce the spellings for the long vowels, and this is going to be a whole new different thing. So we're going to study all the long vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U, and then we're also going to study other vowel sounds that are spelled with 2 or 3 letters. So we're doing step 4. There's 6 steps altogether. And in the intermediate stage, there is step 3 and step 4. So now we're going to be looking at vowel sounds spelled with 2 or 3 letters. Sometimes these are called digraphs. Digraph is one sound spelled with 2 letters. You have consonant digraphs like SH, TH, WH that we studied before. Now you're going to put 2 vowels together to make one sound. We will also be studying in step 3 here. There are some vowels like oi, for example, where you have it's 2 sounds spelled with 2 letters, and that is called a diphthong. So a digraph is one sound spelled with 2 letters, and a digraph is 2 letters, 2 sounds spelled with 2 letters. So we'll be side by side. So we'll be studying those. Now we're exercise 24. Let's jump into this. We're going to be doing the EE in the word tree. So again, here we have 2 letters, but they only make one sound, and that sound is E. Be sure you got that. Then we have EA as in the word meal, and again it says E, so the EE and the EA. And in a minute we're going to show you why there's 2 spellings, because different words are spelled with the same sound but a different spelling. They're called homonyms. And then E at the end of a short word or syllable has the E sound, as in tree. That's the phonovisual key word for all of the long vowel sounds. Here at the top of the page, we have this is an introduction, and then we'll study the words that are going to be you're going to be timed on in your exercises. Here we have, and so let's look at these. We have steel and steel. These words here at the top are an introduction to exercise 24, where we'll be looking at the words that are going to be on your exercise will be timed. So here we go. The first one is steel, steel. Wait a minute, same sound, long E. In the first word it's spelled EE or double E, and in the second one it's spelled EA. This is why that when you're asked to spell the word, you have to hear it in a sentence or a definition. So if you're asked to spell the word steel, you wouldn't know what to write. You don't know if it's the S-T-E-L or S-T-E-A-L. So your teacher or whoever's instructing you or helping you, they're going to have to use the word in a sentence. So let's spell these 2 words, and then this will give you an idea how this works. These are called homonyms, 2 words that sound the same, but they're spelled different and have a different meaning. The first one is steel, like a piece of metal. The hammer is made out of strong steel. Steel. So if I were to ask you to spell this word, I would say spell steel. The hammer is made out of strong steel. Steel. Then you would repeat the word steel, and you would spell with the letter names S-T-E-E-L, steel. Either spell it with the letter names or write it, or both. Remember to say the word, spell the word, say the word again. So S-T-E-A-L, if I were to ask you to spell that, I would say spell steal. The thief came in to steal the milk. Steal. And you would say steal. S-T-E-A-L, steal. So you can see why and the importance and the value of learning to spell these words so you can tell them apart when you're reading. It's true that when you're reading a sentence and you say steal, you'll generally know the meaning from the context. But it's much better to learn the spelling and associate with the meaning, so when you see the word in isolation out of a sentence by itself, that you'll know which one it is. And that's especially important if you're writing, because when you write, you want to make sure that you get the spelling correct. Now let's go through the others. We're going to go through these others to illustrate this. Here we have seam, and here we have seam. The first one is, it seems like a good idea. And the second one is a seam in a garment, where two fabrics or pieces of a garment come together, sewn together. Then we have meet and meat. The first one is nice to meet you, and the second one is what kind of meat are we having for supper? Peel, peel. The first one you know probably, like peel an apple, but the second one, peel, is like the ringing of a bell. That sound, the peal of the bell, and that's a good word to know. Next we have peek, peek. The first one is peek, like peekaboo, the little baby plays peek. And P-E-A-K is like the peak, which is the top of a mountain. And maybe you've heard of Pikes Peak. Then we have week and excuse me. We have week and week. The first one is the 7-day week, and the other one is he's so weak he can't pick up a pencil. Next is deer and deer. The first one is the 4-legged deer that's in the forest. And the second one is deer, like you would say, I would write my first grade teacher, Dear Miss Monroe. Then we have flee and flee. The first one is to flee. They fled from the enemies. They ran away. The second one is a flea, like a flea that you have on your dog. And the last pair is team, team. The first one is the rivers teem with fish. There's a lot of fish in the river. Team. And the second one, team, you can play on my basketball team. Now I'm going to pause here and I'm going to scroll down so you can see the words, all the words that you're going to be timed on. Here we are. By the way, I can't quite get all of them on that screen because there's some down at the bottom, so I'll have to be scrolling up or down as in a minute to get those last ones. So here we go. Let's go quickly. E-E. Bees. Bees make honey. Creep. He could creep along on the ground. And notice the CR. You've already mastered the consonant blend, so we won't say much about those, but you'll be noticing them. Deep. The water is deep. Deer. The deer crossed the road safely. Feed. Feed the deer, but don't feed the bear. Feel. I feel wonderful today. Feet, I hope you washed your feet. Flee, he ran away. Free, Mr. Potter's videos here are free. They don't cost you anything. Green, green grass, and Mr. Potter's favorite color. Keel, part of a boat. Keep, in class they often say keep your hands to yourself. Meet, nice to meet you. Need, I need to read a good book. Peek, peek around the corner. Peep, the little bird made a peep peep. Queen, the queen was beautiful. Screen, a screen door will keep the flies out. Seed, plant the seed and you get a plant. Seek, seek for higher grades. Try to get better grades. Seems, it seemed like a good idea. Seen, have you seen my German Shepherd lately? Sheep, the sheep give wool. Sheer, it was very thin, it was sheer. Sheet, a sheet of paper. Speech, he made a great speech. Steel, the metal. Steer, like a steering wheel. Or steer a car. Street, notice the triple consonant blend. Street. The cars go down the street. Sweep, I can sweep my room. Sweet, honey is sweet. Team, the rivers team with fish. 3, 1, 2, 3. Tree, I love to climb a tree. Weed, we don't want any weed in our yard. Week, 7 days in a week. Weep, to cry. Wheel, the wheel goes round and round, and it's fun to try and draw with a mouse. Next we have EA, beach. This is beach. We didn't have beach up there, did we? We should. That would have been a good one. BEECH, like for the water. But here we have, oh, that is it. BEECH is a tree. There I go. And then BEACH is the beach along the water. Bead. She had a beautiful beautiful bead. String of beads. Beak. The beak of the bird's beak. Beam. A beam of light. It can also be a beam like in a building. Bean. Plant a bean and you get a bean. Beast, the beast from the deep. The monster. Cheap, it cost very little. It was very cheap. Cheat, you should never cheat on a test. Clean, keep your room clean. Clear, we can see a long ways on a clear day. Dear, dear Miss Monroe, thank you for teaching me to read in first grade in 1953. And to write cursive, yes. Dream, I dream of everybody learning to read well. Ear, open your ears so you can hear. East, north, east, south, and west, a direction. Fear, you should have no fear of a spelling test if you study hard. Flea, my dog has a flea. Gear, we have some fishing gear. Heap, to heap something up, to make a big pile of it. Hear, I can hear with my ear. Heat, there's a lot of heat today. It's very warm. Leaf, the leaf on the tree is green. Lean, this can be like lean over, or it can be like the meat was lean. There wasn't much fat on it. Leap, leap for joy, to jump. Meat, this is the meat that you can eat. And up here we had the meat that is nice to meet you. Next we have near. He's not far away, he's near. Neat. John is very neat. He keeps everything in his room put it looking nice. Peach, I love a juicy peach. Peal, a peal of thunder or the peal of a bell. Preach, he preached a good message. Reach, can you reach the fly swatter on the top of the cabinet? Reach. Read, I like to read a good story. By the way, we're going to learn later that this can also be read, because that EA can also have the S sound, and that's another lesson. Reap, you reap what you sow. Scream, he yelled out loud. Seal, they sealed the letters so no one could open it. Seam, a seam in a garment. Seat, take your seat. A seat in a theater. Speak. Speak clearly so I can understand you. Spear. He threw a spear at the lion. Squeak. A squeaky noise. Ee. Steal. Never steal. Again, this is steal. Not the steal up here that we had. There's two steals, right? So this one is to steal something out of a store. Steam, the steam came off the water. Stream, now we add one letter right there to steam, and now we have stream. The water flowed down the stream. Tea, I need some tea. Teach me to read. Team, you can be on my team. Veal, this is tender meat. Weak, he's not very strong. This is not the 7 days of the week. This is weak. Wheat, you can make bread with wheat. Then we have year. This year is 2022. Yeast makes the bread rise, and zeal means he was real excited and he wanted to do a good job. The last two are three words that we have here are be good, me, tell me what to do, and we are going to the show. Okay, this is a pretty long lesson. Good luck on these.